What's going on, everyone? You're back with your boy Jono for another quick math lesson. Today we're going to look at something called simplifying fractions, and this is a skill that's going to stay with you all throughout maths up until year 12. So we know that an equivalent fraction is two fractions that are equal in value. So how 1/2 and 2/4 are exactly the same. They're both saying that you've got half of something. So a fully simplified fraction is just a special type of equivalent fraction. So we've already learnt the skills in the last lesson to absolutely ace this, but this time we're just looking for one equivalent fraction, the very special one, which is a simplified fraction. So a simplified fraction is where the whole numbers are as small as they possibly can be while still being equivalent. The way that we find this is by finding the highest common factor between the numerator, or the number on the top, and the denominator, the number on the bottom. So if we're really good at our times tables, we're going to find this incredibly easy, but all we're looking for is a fraction that says the exact same thing as our answer. It has to be equivalent, but in its smallest possible form, using only whole numbers. We don't want to get confusing and throw some decimals in. Let's look at an example now. I've got 18 over 24, and I might go, 18 and 24 are both in the 3 times tables. I'm going to divide both of these by 3 to make a smaller equivalent fraction. So if I divide both of these by 3, I'm going to get 6 over 8. This is the same fraction. They're saying the exact same thing, but 6 over 8 isn't actually the smallest fraction that this could be. So this is not a fully simplified fraction. 18 and 24 are both in the 6 times table. So instead of dividing both by 3, I'm going to divide both by 6. If I divide both of these by 3, I'm left with 3 over 4. 3 and 4 don't have any common factors between them. So this is the fully simplified fraction. I can't go any smaller unless I start throwing some decimals in. So 3 over 4 is the fully simplified fraction of 18 over 24. Again, they're saying the same information. 3 over 4 is just easier to read. In this example, we've got 14 over 35. 7 is the highest common factor of both of these numbers, so that's what we're going to have to divide the top and the bottom by. So if I divide the top and the bottom by 7, I'm left with 2 over 5. 2 and 5 don't have any common factors, so this is the fully simplified answers. It's that easy, just one division that we can see pretty quickly. You will get the answer correct. Sometimes you'll get to the end of an answer and you will have an answer that is already fully simplified. And in this example, you don't have to do anything. So for here, I've got 9 over 14, and students sometimes think, I've got to do something, I've got to simplify it. In this example, it's already done for you. So you just have to write 9 over 14, you're done. You can leave it as it is if it's already fully simplified. One of my big pro tips is to break down these fractions if they've got really hard common factors to see immediately. One of the big ones is if you have 2 even numbers but you're not sure what the highest common factor is, you can just divide by 2, so then you're looking for a smaller factor. If you do this method, you will have to simplify twice, at least, but it is an easier way than sometimes seeing the highest common factor quickly. In this example here, I've got 24 over 52, and I'm not sure what the highest common factor is. I don't know my 24 times tables super well. All I'm going to do here is divide by 2 because they're both even. This is going to leave me with 12 over 26. But 12 and 26 are also both even, so I'm going to have to divide by 2 again. This leaves me with 6 over 13. 6 and 13 don't have any common factors, so this is the fully simplified answer. It just took us an extra step to get there. Because it was divided by 2 twice, we could divide by 4, and that would get us to the answer straight away. But if you can't see it, breaking it into smaller numbers sometimes helps find the answer without using as much brain power. My second big pro tip is always use your calculator if you're allowed to. The reason for this is no matter what you put in, it will give you the simplified answer. So you can just bang it into your calculator and get full marks 100% of the time. Obviously, you can't use your calculator in every single test, so this might not help you immediately. But the reason I bring this up is that you always have to simplify your fractions from year 7 to year 12. Sometimes my students in year 10, 11, and 12 forget to simplify their answer, and they do lose a mark. So I always encourage them, hey, just throw your answer into your calculator if you can, every single time, and you will get that mark without having to think too much. So just check your answer, throw it in the calculator, it simplifies it for you, move on to the next question. Thanks so much for watching this lesson, and I'll see you later.